We're excited to announce that the Launchpreneur Academy Live 2022 event replay is now available exclusively at launchpreneuracademy.com. I'm Mr. Producer, and if you were unable to make it to our annual live event in Novi, Michigan this past November, we've got you covered. Get instant access to the live speeches and keynotes from this amazing event and take in tons of knowledge and information from some of the biggest leaders and business owners in the green industry. Hear insights from Mark Bradley, Troy Claude, Paver Pete, James Mansky, and so many others. These 9 speeches are guaranteed to motivate, educate, and inspire you to elevate your game. Start listening now to the Launchpreneur Academy Live 2022 event replay at launchpreneuracademy.com, and we'll leave a link for you in the show description.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no-nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, guys, really excited about talking to you for just a couple quick minutes. I get fired up about the topics and conversations that I get to have with you guys and helping you grow a more successful lawn care and landscaping business. But really, dude, let's click the minus button, the zoom out on the Google Earth Maps and talk about having a successful life. And this is going to be a short and sweet podcast episode, probably the shortest one we've ever done, because I don't have a huge lengthy comment or conversation here, but I did want to talk about this for just a quick minute and do the dual responsibility of hey, it kind of stinks, but hey, it's kind of awesome. And that is being the leader around everybody around you. Long story short, you are the guy. That's what I titled the podcast. I don't know if it makes sense. That's all that's been in my mind since I did a coaching call this morning. A lot of you guys know that we do coaching calls. You can purchase them at launchpreneuracademy.com/store. The $249, I think, for an hour. Fantastic. Blah, blah, blah. If you get the whole ball, I actually get a free coaching call. I love them. I eat, sleep, and breathe, loving to help people out. I did one this morning with a gentleman. We've had 5 or so over the last 2 years. Another person, it was his second one in about 5-month window. And just last time I talked to the dude, he was doing 70 grand in revenue. Now he's doing 170,000 in revenue. Not because of me, but because of his awesome commitment to excellence and growing his company. Any which way, what he talked about was dude, you get these conversations how do you know this stuff? Who teaches you this stuff? We're talking taxes and bookkeeping and S-corps and payroll and distributions and how things work and basis step-up points and all these different conversations. And my dude here, he's listening in. I'm not going to give his name away, but it was a fantastic conversation. And on Thursdays, I do 10 to 3. I block out all my coaching calls, and we come in hot, back to back to back to back. I'm wired. I'm fired up. Haven't ate today. All I got in me is an energy drink. And, outside of that, that's why I talk fast. But then you add an energy drink to it, and now we talk twice as fast, right? And it was just a really freaking awesome conversation that got me fired up as I was getting him fired up. And we're talking about being a leader, being the person that is the go-to person around you, being the guy. And it was just an interesting conversation because, long story short, and he's got his own story to tell one day. Of course, we'll get him on the show. But he was like, nobody around me talks like this. Nobody around me gets what I'm doing. He's in a great part of town, great part of the country, but he's like, none of my family thinks or talks like this, entrepreneurship. He goes, I've got 4 mouths to feed, 4 kids and his wife, and, it's his second or third, maybe 4th year in business. And just a long story short, where do you go to plug into somebody? And, where do you go to learn this kind of information? Where do you go to learn how to become a successful entrepreneur, a successful business owner? And, I was recounting my story. I said 2 things happened at once. I met my friend Mike, who just kind of operated differently. Like Mike would tell you, candidly, his family is coming from the other side of the tracks. They weren't broke as a joke. They had their own struggles. There's a lot of life there, of course. But Mike just thought different about business from day one. He just approached different. He just had different mentorship, people, resources, and priorities. And I just had different lack thereof, really. Just kind of putting together this whole puzzle on my own. Try, fail, adjust. Figure it out. Maybe find some stuff on social, maybe some stuff on forums late night. But the quick conversation that I wanted to have was my boy here that I was in the coaching call with, he was like, where do you learn this kind of stuff? And he goes, it's alarming that nobody around me is talking this way, wants to think this way. And by the way, I think we just did a podcast on this like on Wednesday. Like, dude, or maybe it was like Monday. Like, thank God you have the dream. Thank God you have the vision. Thank God that you're not destined to just work a quote unquote job. Thank God you guys have this hum inside of you that says like, there's got to be more. There's got to be a better life, a better way. Like, I want to take care of my family. And the whole point of this conversation, like we were talking, and as we get it wrapped up, I go, dude, you just learned so much. It's not even funny. And I said, you are now in this position to win and to help other people. And of course, it's like a tag, you're it, but you're armed and dangerous. Like, dude, you are ready to rock and roll. Like, you can build a successful company. And we're working through some things, like there's 1 out of 100 things, of course, that we always got to work on. But we're putting another little jigsaw puzzle piece back into the puzzle to help get this thing figured out. And it was just a really fun call because, like, dude, at the end of the day, like, you don't have to be the guy. You can not have to participate at the highest level. But whether we sometimes like it or we don't like it, you are going to be the guy. Like, whether you're the firstborn or maybe something's going on with the firstborn and now you're like the middle, but like you're kind of the firstborn. It's kind of my situation. Like, it's not fun. It doesn't have to be fair. Most often it's not fair. And I don't know if this podcast topic is going to relate to you, but just work with me here. I got this thought that I'm trying to get out is like, dude, you have to be the guy for your family if nobody else is going to be the guy. If you've been charged with entrepreneurship, like, dude, like, there's no other way to put it. People are counting on you. And you're like, I don't know anything about payroll. I don't know anything about bookkeeping. I barely know how to mow grass and sling mulch, like in our industry example, right? I barely know how to power wash fences and siding. I barely know how to lay asphalt. I was on with my boy Marvin with Wisco. I barely know how to run track and field as an all-star athlete. I barely know engineering. I just learned engineering and now I'm getting thrown into a company making $70,000 a year and I got to do engineering work and this big project's like on my plate and on my shoulders. Like, sure. But like, sometimes that adversity is going to cause some people to crack. And other times it's going to cause other people to own up, man up, buck up, right? And you stretch that rubber band. And if you've ever stretched a rubber band, like, it doesn't go back to that same size that it was initially. Like the orbit, right? Like if you draw a dot and a circle around it, that's your orbit. And like, that's all you know. But just because that's your orbit doesn't mean you can't draw another ring on the outside of that 2 feet out. And there's a whole nother thought process of information and knowledge that you may not know just yet. And there's more to know, right? And it's like, you have 2 options, recede or charge the hill, right? Recede or burn the boats. And I'm just telling you guys, like, that's a lifeline out there, man. There are so many times where I'm like, I don't want to be doing what I'm doing. And that's just a mature part about being an adult. It has nothing really to do about being a business owner. It's called adulting, right? Like, so many memes and jokes about that. But sometimes you're just like, dude, I don't want to be doing this. I don't want to sit down with my accountant. I don't want to sit down with my bookkeeper. Some of you guys, like, you're in the weeds with it. You love it. My boy Bedell does a lot of his stuff. Like, I couldn't think of anything farther less than I want to do. Now, I've stomached it. I've prioritized it because I've understood how important it is to my success. But it's not the first thing I'd rather be doing. Not anybody really in between, of course, unless you're like a diehard bookworm nerd that like loves bean counting. But like, I'd rather be on a 4-wheeler. I'd rather be at the lake. I'd rather be spending time with my wife and kids. I'd rather be at a movie, right? Just like many of you guys. But my point is, like, we have to do things we don't want to do. And whether you agree with it, whether you like it or you don't like it, I'm sorry. But the more you press in, the more that you can be a leader, the more that people can like lead, I should say, on you, the more we're going to help society as a whole. And like, for example, if a storm rips through, like, yes, people can go and do cleanup for that storm. But if you just sweep in front of your steps and you just sweep in front of your house and clean up your house and everybody cleans up their house, that's how you clean up a city, right? Like, you have to put your oxygen mask on first. We've all heard that analogy, right? Then you help the next person out. Like, if you just go put on your kids or your wife's, like, dude, you're going to pass out in 7 seconds or less, right? So 2 things. One, like, sometimes it's not fair that you have to be the tip of the spear. Some of you guys like that. I guess there's an element of it being cool and fun and nuance and innovative or special or exciting or risk, right? That's whatever. Some people gravitate to that. But then other times I'm like, out of necessity, I'm like, fudge. Nobody knows how to do this. Why am I educating everybody around me? Why am I talking to everybody around me? Why didn't anybody teach me? Why didn't anybody teach me anything? And it's not, and you can be a victim at that. I mean, I'm sure I was at some point. I'm sure I'm still at some waves like that. But more specifically, I'm like, okay, fine. It is what it is. Like, if it is to be, it's up to me. Like, no, I don't know how to build a pole barn, and I got to find people. And no, I don't know what to ask for in a good electrician. Fine, I got to figure it out. Fine, I don't know that it's costs $20,000 for architecture plans to build a custom home. Fine, I'll figure it out. I didn't know how to treat my wife because I was a dude and I suck dealing with women back in the day. And I had nothing but brothers and no girl like, around me. So I'm like, going to your wife and saying, hey, what's up, butthead? Or other adjectives. It's not the best way to treat a woman. So I had to learn some things. And like out of like necessity or excitement or both, right? It's like sometimes it is what it is. You have to do things you don't want to do. And you have to learn things and somebody has to win. Somebody has to win around you. Like you are most likely that guy that's going to win for your family. And I said like, outside of you, what is the likelihood that the next person in your line of your lineage is going to have the ambitions, the interest, the excitement, the prerogative, the ambition to change your family's tree? So like out of reluctancy, you're like, damn, I got to be the guy. But like I told my friend, I'm like, dude, that's such an opportunity of like, dude, you get to be the guy. Grant Cardone calls it like being Uncle G, right? And I'm like, dude, you know what? Like that more recently actually resonates with me a lot more than I thought. Like maybe it works for some of you guys. I don't know. Just a candid thought, just open therapy session here for 15 minutes. Like I want to make sure that my kids look up to me. I want to make sure that my kids' cousins, whatever, my nieces and nephews, I want them to like look up to like Uncle Brian. Hopefully it's rich Uncle Brian. Hopefully it's like successful Uncle Brian. Hopefully it's successful Uncle, whatever. Hopefully it's successful Aunt so-and-so.
The whole ball of wax at launchpreneuracademy.com is a $4,000 value that is yours for only $1,499. However, when you apply the code SPRINGRUSH at checkout, that's all one word, SPRINGRUSH, we're going to take another $300 off. That's $4,000 of resources for less than $1,200. The special discount ends April 3rd.
Hey, how did you become successful? Well, here's a fun answer. Out of reluctancy, I became successful because nobody else was going to do it. Nobody else was going to figure it out. Nobody else was trying to figure it out. And it was up to me. So you became successful because you wanted to? I guess. I mean, I tried poverty for a decade. I much more like making six figures plus. But like, it wasn't like I need to get rich. It was like man, I'm just tired of struggling. I'm just tired of like losing. And people say like, you think the penalty or the cost or the sacrifice or the fee for winning is expensive. Wait till you try losing. Like, wow. Like, dude, the fact that you even heard that thought is 1 in a billion that you're even listening to my voice. If you guys are listening to the show, like, thank God you're here to listen. Thank God somebody put something into me to tell something to you. What are the odds of that? What are the odds? We can't ever take that kind of stuff for granted, that somebody's putting on a show or a podcast or a video or an article, a newsletter, a word of advice, a conference, a mastermind, something at the library. Like, thank God these things exist. And out of reluctance, right? Out of reluctance, because I didn't want to do any of this stuff. Do you think I like paying $550 an hour for talking to one of my attorneys? $375 an hour to talk to my CPA? $325 an hour to talk to my trademark and patent attorney? But Bedell worked on some stuff. He worked the same guy that I had. Dude, 10 grand in. We don't like spending money. I don't want to do that. I don't like buying things or investing in the things any more than you guys do, like out of have to. But sometimes you have to. And if you have to, it's like, well, I might as well put on my happy face. But like, dude, what an opportunity too, right? Like, okay, fine. You're reluctant. You don't want to do it. You're like, man, taxes are hard. Bookkeeping is hard. Hiring people is hard. Like, dealing with drama is hard. Dealing with customers that suck is hard. Okay, fine. Like, it is what it is. I have to do it. Like, and it's the whole, like, I don't have to work. I get to work. Like, that whole attitude. And it just reminded me, like, dude, it's exciting being able to help people. It's like, it's exciting figuring out the puzzle. It's exciting figuring out the blanks in life. It's exciting being able to give people answers. It's rewarding. it's rewarding, and it's a passion project. Like now you're not like just trying to be successful to be successful. Now you're like, hey, like I can help some people. And you guys are doing the same thing. If you listen to this, dude, tag you're it. Help the people around you. Help your friend, help your brother, help your cousin, help your sister, help your niece, help your nephew, help whoever, help your mom and dad. I was talking to somebody else, like, hey, just because of the stuff you were learning from, I've been learning from you, I've been able to inspire and encourage my parents to take action, to take one of their businesses to the next level. Dude, that's freaking awesome. I don't know who or what they do, but if that's the case, like, dude, awesome. Like, tag you're it. Like, the thin thread that gets to link us all together. If that's the case, like, dude, praise the Lord that that's like the opportunity that I get to have to serve, to have an impact. And by the way, all of you guys listening in, all 12 of you, listen, come around the campfire. Like, I get to listen to you guys too. You guys have made me a better person. Like the fingerprints and the thought process that I've been able to develop is a, what's it called? A mutt? Like with a dog, when you mix a bunch of things together, like, dude, this mutt it's going to be called the Mutt Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I cannot be more grateful and thankful for all of the stuff that you guys have taught me. And so really quick, I just want to button this quick thought up. If it's even any good, I don't know. This is a Friday show. Keep it light, keep it fun. It just gets me fired up because I was talking to my boy and I said, dude, like, you get to be the guy. Everything I just told you was $10,000 of hours of information and money that I had to invest with time and money. I mean, literally, folks, like in professional education in 2022, I it's hard to quantify, but it's north of $25,000. And I'm not, it's not hyperbole. It's not exaggeration. It's quantifiable. I'll show you the receipts. Like between my accountants, my bookkeepers, my trademark attorney, my litigation attorney, my CPA and quarterly calls, I pay a ton of money in education because I realized like the answers were not what you know, but who you know. And I had to buy access and buy knowledge and learn from people. And this is, by the way, on a pursuit to go make $1 million a year, right? Like, it's not like I'm just, you know, if you're making $100,000 a year and you're happy, like that's fine. That's cool. You probably don't have to invest into a bunch of stuff to like learn how to get to the next level. But if you want to get to the next level, spend some money, get around some people. And it's like, oh man, I got to spend some money. Dude, you get to spend some money. Oh, I got to buy a coaching call. Dude, you get to do a coaching call. I've never had a single person refund their coaching call money. I won't care if you buy a coaching call. That's not the point. My point is like, I've never had anybody go, man, that was a waste of an hour. Because I will not hang up until I know I've solved some of your problems or helped you or you feel encouraged or feel better about your life and your prospects. Quantifiably, not hyperbole, not theory. And so when I was talking to my boy, I was like, you're all my boy, when we get to, you know, coaching call, I'm like, do we get thick into it? And he's like, dude, this is ridiculous. Like, he's like, I didn't know. And he's like, we're talking about, a professional that he's got on his team. I'm like, dude, you need to draft that dude. If he's not, and we work through some things and he's like, oh, I didn't know what I don't know. And maybe he doesn't know what he doesn't know. And I go, that's fine. That's cool. But I said, one part of it is like maybe the professional that you have on, but the other side, that responsibility still relies and lands on you. And so whether that's out of reluctancy or excitement to learn and to get to the next level and to be the man, you have to take that level. You don't have to. Let me take that back. You don't have to take that mantra of leadership, that level of leadership, the baton of leadership. But man, I promise you, your life will get that much better when you do. Like, I didn't want to be a business-minded, know-it-all, solve the world's problems, broker deal, any of this stuff. You kidding me? I want to mow grass and like spend time with my family. But then there's a mature way to play and there's a mature level of like living life when you realize, dude, there's people around you that you could shore things up and help them out and build bridges and broker and network and help and lead, you know, pave the road for the next people, whatever that means for your kids, right? Like, I'm not planning to give my kids much, maybe a car, you know, when they're 16, 18. After that, freaking make your own money. Dad got rich, not you. Like, you're not entitled to a dang thing. Now, I will teach you how to get successful, but my kids are going to have a hard road to hoe if they think they're getting any mommy's and daddy's money, okay? I'm going to buy a jet, and at the ripe old age of 104 and Liz at 100, we hope to smash into a side of a mountain, okay, and go meet Jesus on my Lear jet. You know, I'm worth 9 figures. Because, dude, I ain't leaving none of it to anybody. I made it. Nobody taught me a dang thing. If your boy can figure it out, you can figure it out too. That's morbid. That's morbid as hell. But that's funny right there. That's maybe not funny to you, but that's like how that's how I think. Like, bro, nobody taught me. You have to figure it out. And like, you can look at it like, damn, I got to figure it out. You can be like, dude, I get to figure it out. And I will tell you, it's not easy. It's not fun. It's a lot of late nights. It's a lot of lurking on YouTube at 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon and figuring this stuff out and putting your puzzle together, right? Here's the last thing I'll say. I heard somebody say this a long time ago. It stuck with me. It was amazing. It was a story of a guy, and he had a kid, and they're in the living room, and they're putting together this puzzle piece on the table. They're putting together a jigsaw puzzle on the table, and it said it's going to take probably 10 hours to put this thing together, and the kid's just popping a couple pieces together, and dad's helping him out, and an hour and a half later goes by, and they've only put a couple pieces together, and man, this is going to take us forever. This is a very difficult puzzle. It's a sailboat with the sunset, with the marina and the buoys and the water and the 4 different color waters because it's anywhere not in Michigan and it's, like in the Caribbean or something, and beautiful sailboat with a multicolored sailboat thing, sail, and people on the boat, and they're smiling, and then there's sunglasses and there's seagulls, and the seagulls are one piece, but you don't know which way it goes because it's all blue around the edges. Okay, it's a difficult puzzle to put together. It's crazy. So after an hour and a half, son and dad are putting this thing together. It's man, that's ridiculous. I'm going to go make a sandwich. I'm going to go hit the restroom. Dad says, I'll come on back. Dad comes back in 10 minutes and sees the puzzle all done. Perplexed. And the dad says, what the heck? How are you able to put this puzzle together? That's ridiculous. The sailboat, the whatever, all this other stuff. How were you able to put this together? And actually the story was, this was a puzzle that they cut out, and on the back side, I think it was from a magazine, was the story goes, and on the back side of the magazine was a photo of a man. And so they cut it up into 100 little pieces or whatever, right? 1,000 pieces, pick your analogy, whatever, get the point. And the son said, well, I dropped the piece on the floor, and I looked at the glass table, and when I looked up, I realized that it was a picture of a man. It was a picture of the man. And so what I did was, instead, I focused on putting the man together, and the rest of the puzzle put itself together that much quicker. When I put the man back together, I was easily able to put the puzzle of the sailboat picture together. Meaning when you put the picture together of man, when you put you together, everything else falls into place. Right? So whether you want to do it out of excitement or you want to do it out of reluctance, man, I feel like I'm in both every single day. Why doesn't anybody teach me this stuff? Why doesn't anybody tell me? And I know a lot. I've learned a lot. And there's 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things I still don't know. And whether it's out of excitement or out of necessity, the point is, the job's got to get done. And you get to be the man for your family. Hate it or love it, dude. You have to be the man for your family because they are counting on you to succeed. And so is your community, your friends, your peers, the industry, your church, the people you haven't met yet, your grandkids, your great-grandkids. Who's going to be the dude over the mantle in your family sitting on that big-ass high-back, red velvet chair with your wife dripped in diamonds, right, with a 7-figure real estate portfolio that's still cashing checks for the family, business. Who is going to be that guy on the mantle for you? Is it going to be, your great-grandpa, Grandpa Rick? Or is it going to be you because you don't have anybody on the mantle? You know what my family had on the mantle forever? A big flat screen TV because we were losers. Losers have big flat screen TVs on top of their mantle. Successful families have the patriarch, the person that changed the family tree. And dude, I'm not getting tough talk with you guys, but how many times are you going to watch Super Bowls of people who are just felons and losers? You care about Rihanna? What are you talking about? Grow your life, grow your business. Well, have some escapism and I deserve some fun. Do you? Until you got the job done, I don't think you do. And that's why so many people are in chaos and life sucks and their finances suck and their wife hates them and they're apathetic and they have no sex life and all this other stuff. It's dude, put your life together. You can figure it out and you can have an amazing life. I'm in the pursuit of that, by the way. I'm not a finished product, but dude, you have to be the man for your family. You have to be the dude on the chair. You have to be the man, whether out of excitement or reluctance. I'm sorry. Tag, you're it. All right. So don't ask for it to be easier. Ask for you to be better. Okay. That's a Jim Rohn. All right. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys, dude. It's Friday. The week is done. I don't care. Pretend this is a Monday and kick ass for the rest of the day, kick ass on Saturday, enjoy family on Sunday, and come in with a house fury, fire-ish, napalm, scorched earth. I'm going to crush this thing on Monday. Okay? Take no prisoners. All right? That's my Friday. Super exciting call, super exciting topic, super exciting podcast. Appreciate all you guys listening in. Just yelling for 30 minutes. Dude, I'm crazy. But I'm crazy because I'm excited. I'm passionate. I want to grow. I want to win. I want you guys to win. All right, we're going to win together. That's what it's all about. Real, authentic lawn care. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Hit follow. Okay, hit subscribe. Don't miss an episode. Never miss an episode. Okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you're new here, it's all about Lawns, Lessons, Life. Walk into the jungle if this is your first episode. The other ones are a little bit more soft. I think on Monday we got Postcard Mania. Okay, that being said, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Marty, please take it away.
Unlock your business potential with the Know Your Numbers profitability and pricing calculator from the Lawntrepreneur Academy. Discover the secrets to a predictably profitable business. Learn how to recover overhead, calculate your man-hour rate, price lawns correctly, and budget for profit margins. Maximize your success with the best information and tools. Get the Know Your Numbers profitability and pricing calculator today at LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com. Hi, I'm Mr. Producer, and one more thing. If you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you need our free email newsletter. It's delivered 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. Join our mailing list to stay connected to the world of lawn care and get exclusive access to the latest and greatest from Fullerton Unfiltered and Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Don't miss out on this opportunity to stay ahead of the curve and elevate your lawn care game. Sign up now with the link we've provided in the show description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and